And we live.
All right. So we just wanted to talk about, Shenmue more, right?
Yep.
Just because there's been a lot of news going around. Well, there's been a lot. It's been mentioned in a lot of articles, mostly negative.
Yeah. There was a video even last night asking the question, was Shenmue 3 a scam, this Kickstarter, which is bullshit.
Yeah. So let's just take a step back. And at the time of this posting, we are at $3,588,923. So, and one thing I've noticed is it is slowed down severely, I think.
Yeah. Here I can even show the what do you call it? Graph of it.
You talking about that kick tracks link?
Yeah.
Did you get that from me?
You can
Or?
see it. Yeah. So you can see how it's pretty flattened out there.
Yeah, I've been meaning to compare this to some other ones. Because, like, I even looked at the Veronica Mars one.
Yeah.
Like, and that one even slowed down quite a bit. But I think this one's slowing down even more so.
Well, when you first show me it was at 18 million here. Now it's at 13 million.
13. Which I'd take 13 million.
Yeah.
10 would be good. Yeah, let's see if I can find Veronica Mars quick. And just do a quick comparison. Because Veronica Mars is similar in that it wanted 2 million, and they got
5 million.
5,700,000. So let's look at the daily data. Well, they got down to the low 300s, and it's interesting. Theirs started out really high, got pretty low pretty quick, stayed really low, and then towards the end it spiked up. So, like you said, it's an inverse bell curve, really.
Yeah.
So, though we are down to how many pledges so far today? And really, the pledge number, well, 404. Guess that's not bad. 404. And Veronica Mars, well, at this time, Veronica Mars was still doing better. But I don't know. It's going to keep going down.
Yeah. Here, I can share this out again quick.
Yeah.
This is the Veronica Mars one. So, yeah, you can see it flattened out, but it seems to be doing, it did a lot better than what Shenmue is doing right now.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it seems like there's a little higher curve to it, or hill, I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, and the other thing that's weird about our chart, when you compare it to like Veronica Mars, you can tell that they probably started towards the beginning of the day, because theirs starts up strong and gets low, or ours starts out slow, or starts out low, gets really high, then gets really low because of what time I think they started it. There's probably 4 hours, or is it in 3 to 4 hours before it was the next day, and that's probably when a lot of the other
people.
2 million came in.
Yeah, when people saw it.
I'm
Yeah,
just
but
huh?
I was gonna say, so far we have a higher pledge amount per backer. Theirs was $62, and we're at what, 80?
80?
Per person on average.
So, yeah, I wonder how many backers did they get. Okay, they got 91,000. So we're halfway there ish.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
not even
we're about halfway there.
and we're not even halfway through the Kickstarter yet.
Sure. So I hope we get to 4 million by the end of the month, but I don't know. Okay, so I guess the next thing I kind of wanted to just touch on is, I guess I'll get two estimates from you. Where do you think it'll be at the end of the month, and where do you think it'll be at the end of Kickstarter?
I say we will raise another million by the end, so about 4.5
By the end of the
by
month?
the end. Yeah, by the end of the Kickstarter.
Okay, so where do you think we'll be at by the end of June, going into July?
Oh, you're talking about the actual month.
Well, I want two estimates. I want, because we are on the 23rd, so we got one, two,
third.
we got about
Yeah,
another week.
7 days. Yeah,
So I want your end of the month prediction, and then I want your end of the run prediction.
I say we will raise another roughly 200,000 by the end of June, and by the end of the Kickstarter, 4.5 million.
Mm-hmm. So you don't think we'll get to the 5 million?
It's well, I mean, this is the first Kickstarter I really ever followed this closely, so I don't know how these work, but I mean, it could sure shoot up there.
You think that Shenmue Dojo thing, 30 on the 3rd, will do anything? You think there's
Where you
anything?
give?
I don't know.
I don't
Honestly,
know.
I already raised mine to 300, and that's about the most I feel like I can responsibly give. So I won't be
Right.
particularly. I think a lot of people have probably already given the max. If anything, I think they should push, $5 on the 5th, like for people who haven't given, like just pledge $5 on the 5th. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, yeah. Even if it's just to raise the amount of backers there are, that
Right.
number. I mean, that can show interest too. It's not just the money, but money is nice, I suppose.
But, well, I guess for my estimates of the month, you are probably right. Um, End of the month is on a. Okay, yeah, so exactly a week from today. I think we'll probably be 3.8, 3.9 million. I do think we'll make just barely. I think we'll just barely make 5 million by the time Kickstarter is done. I actually think our numbers will end up pretty close to what Veronica Mars had. So, okay. So let's talk about some of the criticisms. A lot of people have been saying that this is kind of an abuse of Kickstarter, that this is meant for indie developers and that Sony was planning to go in the whole time and, all that stuff. The game cost, 47, 70 million, whatever, to make the game, and how could they possibly do it? And why didn't Sony just do this from the get-go?
Fund the whole thing themselves. Well, I saw a video talking about no, they could go around for next year trying to convince people at Sony this is going to be a profitable franchise. Yep. And then 4 years from now, get the game, which, if they can convince people.
And I think it's a tough sell.
But what? Yeah, I mean, sure, they know the fans are behind there, but how many are there?
Yep.
I don't know if you can quite measure that. I mean, there is a reason Sega hasn't made it for all these years.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
Second one didn't do it that well.
Well, and here's the other thing.
Or at least over here.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Well, it's like the video you said. Like you said, they could go around spending 2 years trying to get the funding, and then the other thing is, like, it's really easy for people to say, well, yeah, I want it, But when they actually get, or when it actually comes time to put their money where their mouth is, or take some action, it's like, oh, so you really didn't want that so bad. Well, thanks, because we
Yes.
just spent a lot of money on something you didn't really want. So this is a little bit, I think, of voting with your money, I guess. I don't know. I
Putting
mean,
money where your mouth is.
huh?
Putting money where your mouth is.
And I look at it this way. I pledged an amount, so I got the rewards I wanted. That was a big incentivizer for me to pledge as much as I did. I mean, I looked at all the things I'm getting. My name in the credits, signed copy of the game or whatever, the printed art book, the printed CD, the art technique scroll, the switch jacket. To me, that's almost our $200 value. Yeah, so 100 of that is extra that goes towards the game. I mean, that's the other thing is out of this money that we raise, some of that's gonna have to go to pay for these items. So it's not like they get all of it.
Right.
Kickstarter takes a little bit, you know. So if they raise 5 million and Kickstarter gets 5%, what is that? 5,000? Or is that 50,000?
Oh, 5 million, you said?
Well, it's probably 50,000. Yeah, I think it's, or no, it'd be 25.
That is 250,000.
5%?
5% of 5 million.
Yeah.
That's what Cap Player says.
Oh, it's embarrassing. I'm rusty on my math.
Unless we typed in wrong.
Let me just double check.
That's-
So 20. Okay, yeah, you're right.
So
Yeah, you're right. So they're gonna take $250,000 of that. And then yeah, it's probably gonna be another couple hundred to fulfill all the prizes. Well, they keep saying prizes, but they're not prizes, rewards.
yeah, perks.
So I bet you could easily chop off 500,000 off of whatever that they get. That's not gonna go towards the game at all.
I would say 500,000 to 1 million at least.
I think it'll be closer to 500,000, but I'm guessing. Well, it depends on the number.
I suppose something that is fairly cheap to produce, like your name and credits, that's not going to cost anything but time. The soundtrack, just need a place to host that, at least a division.
Well, and they're yeah.
Let's see.
Although it's interesting because it's not going to be a mass production; it's going to be a limited run production, which maybe in some ways is more expensive.
But you're thinking you have at least roughly, I would say, how many backers do we have?
Almost 45,000.
44. At least I would say at least 40,000 backers that are getting something.
Yeah,
because there's only 1,000, almost 2,000 people who only pledge $5.
well, and then
they pretty much get nothing besides the survey.
well, and then the digital copies too. We don't really have to do much work there.
Just have to pay the license or the whatever fee you have to pay to host it wherever you are going to host it.
Well,
if it's some kind of
Steam fees,
Steam
whatever.
or Steam or PlayStation Network. But I suppose PlayStation's probably comping that if they're truly are behind the marketing of the game.
And I think that's maybe where most of their support's going to come in. So let's get back to that. What is Sony's involvement, or So yeah, I don't think 2 million is going to make the game. Everyone's saying that it took them 2 days to even put that statement on there. What do you freaking do? I mean, this is the guy's first.
It's a frequently asked question.
Well, yeah, that too.
Somebody has to ask it first, so it's not going to be right away.
Well, and here's the other thing: it's the guy's first Kickstarter. I mean, it's got him a break, and I don't see that this. To me, in a way, this does seem like an indie game. It's very indie because not a lot of people want it. To be honest, oh well, I hate to say it, but it's a niche game. It is not you know, I watched some of the reaction videos to Sony's press thing, and a lot of people were really excited about Final Fantasy VII, but when they got to Shenmue, it's like, well, I don't even know what that is.
I saw one video like that.
Well, it's like,
I never played. Go ahead.
It's like, oh, I never played it, but good for the Shenmue fans, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly. It's not like it's going to be a AAA title. I don't even think when it's done, it's going to be a AAA title. It'll maybe be a title.
Yeah.
So, and then I think if Sony was really backing it a lot, it wouldn't be coming out for Windows. Because if Sony's going to put a lot of money into it, they'd want it exclusivity. Why would they have it work on Windows? Because Windows is their competitor, to a degree, and even more so with the way they want Windows 10 to work.
Yeah, I wonder how that works with Microsoft. Does Microsoft still get a cut for every game that comes out on their system?
No, they don't. They don't.
So it might not cost them.
Have before. What?
And it might not. Well, okay, so they're not giving money to Microsoft, which is
right. But no, they're not giving money. But it doesn't drive me to buy. I would say this: if it came out for PS4 only, I'd probably be buying a PS4.
Right.
So, but the fact that it comes out for Windows gives me some options. And maybe in 2 years my computer won't be good enough to run it, and I'll choose to get a cheap PS4 to play it that way. I'm not a fan of the PS4 controller.
Have you tried it?
Have I tried it?
Yeah.
I've played yours. I'm just still not a fan. I prefer the Xbox style of controller.
Well, the PlayStation 3 and 4 are a little different. I think they fit some of the issues people had.
Okay, so I don't think Sony is putting in as much as people want to think they are.
Yeah.
You gonna say something?
Well, one of the videos I watched last night about Shenmue 3 being a scam, you decide, as I said, Sony's only doing marketing, and somebody came up with this figure of 20 million for marketing. I'm like, how do you get that figure?
Yeah. Your audio's cutting out.
Is it?
I wonder if that shows up in the recording.
Seems fine on my end.
But anyways, well, the other thing is, it sounds like I have, I get the sense this is very much a passion project, and not just for you, Suzuki, but for a few other people. Because there is that one French company, Cedric, and I shouldn't even try to say his name. Bosco, I don't know how you say his name. I want to look it up real quick. Who's helping to produce it? Yeah, okay, Cedric Pisquet. I probably butchered his name, but his company is a French-based company, and the way I understood in one of those videos is he kind of approached Yu Suzuki like, how can I help you get this game made? And this sounds like they made some contact a few years ago that Yu Suzuki trusts him enough to help make the game.
Yeah.
And then, the other thing is, like, Yu Suzuki wants this to be a very Japanese game, a very, free of Western influences. So I think to a certain degree that precludes him from certain amounts of traditional funding.
Yeah, if you go by what Am said in his video, how they want to westernize it.
And like I said, if Sony was really ponying up more money, it wouldn't be coming out for Windows. I don't think so, at least. I think that'd be silly. Yeah. And then there's a lot of things I could say. If I had one theory, and I have nothing to back this up, this is my one theory. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these companies are doing matching funds, like saying if you can get 2 million on Kickstarter, we'll match you 2 million, or we'll match you half of that. If you get 3 million, we can give you 1.5. I could see it being that way. And like I said, I keep going back to Yeah, I spent $300, but I feel like I'm getting $200 worth of items,
All right.
maybe even more. So I don't feel like I'm losing that much money. The only thing that's a little risky is it's all hypothetical because it hasn't happened yet. I don't have that deliverable in my hand. But by God, I've actually had more Shenmue stuff to deal with and to even talk about than I've had. You know, fortunately, as a fan, I haven't been waiting 14 years like everyone else. I've really only been waiting closer to 10 to 11
11.
because I didn't really get into it until about 2004.
Yep.
When I first played them and loved them. And by then, Xbox, GameCube, and PS2 are already out, and probably had what people would consider better games, better looking games, maybe.
Yeah, the Dreamcast was dead and
Yeah,
got cheap. I mean, it was $35 for the Dreamcast when we bought them initially. That's really shows you how gone the Dreamcast was by that time.
yep.
And that was 11 years ago.
So, anyways, so talking kind of budget, like if someone's doubling, so that's the reason I kind of think maybe there's some matching funds, because if you take 4 and double it, that's 8. That And I don't think the game is as expensive as people thought it was. I did a quick inflation calculator that I found online, and the 47 million budget translates into about 67 million. And like Adam has pointed out, and I agree with him that this is absolutely true, they pretty much damn near had a done version of the Saturn from everything I've seen. It looked damn near.
It was pretty much
maybe
up to through Shenmue 2 at least.
And I don't know,
Because
maybe
you're in the village.
Maybe that was just an advanced demo, and it wasn't quite as done as we thought. I don't think we really know the completion status of it, but it looked like they'd gotten the hard part done, which was building the engine and most of the assets. And
Don't quote me on it.
Huh?
Don't quote me on it, but I want to say it was like 75% done. I heard at one point.
And they
I
probably
can't
didn't have any music
verify that.
at that time. They probably didn't have any voice acting.
So this is what Wikipedia said. User later stated the cost for Shenmue was $47 million for developing and marketing. So that's also advertisement. And I bet there was a good, I would say 18 to 20 million of that was probably just marketing. If this was supposed to be the killer app for the Dream.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that was actually marketing. But here's the other thing. How much was that research and development? Cameron? Bollocks.
You there?
Yeah, I can't see you though. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Hey, yeah. So yeah, I don't know how much of that was marketing, but here's the other thing. You got to think about. They had a Saturn version. Oh yeah, okay. I don't know how much of that was research and development because he went to China. He was inspired there. How much of that was taking location shots. And like I said, it was 2 games. Now I think so. So you got 47 million spread across 2 games, and then the Saturn versions. And I'm not going to try to speculate on the breakdown of that too much. One thing I do think that maybe I don't think Adam maybe brought up, and maybe hasn't even thought about it along these lines. I think Shenmue 2, in some ways, was probably cheaper to make than Shenmue 1 because they had the graphics engine done. They had at least the character assets. Well, they had a lot of those done. I'm sure they had to build a bunch of new ones too. And all their architecture was new too. But I'm saying there's probably some reusable elements. And the game does play a little bit different. Well, it definitely plays different than Shenmue 1. But it's not like they were building it from the ground up. So, yeah.
Right.
So I almost want to say, maybe 70% was Shenmue 1 cost and 30%, which is what it took to get Shenmue 2 out. I'm speculating. I really don't have any cold hard facts to back that up. That's just a guess.
Yeah, I don't like trying to speculate on this stuff either.
But and then but I guess where I'm getting at is, let's say Shenmue 1 costs only 20 million. We're not that far off from that. Well, we are and we aren't, but it's actually not such a big number. I think, and like I said, I feel like this is a passion project, so I think they can do it cheaper. And they're not building a new engine; they're using the Unreal Engine. So, and it's like I said, it sounds like they got a lot of the gang back, and it sounds like a lot of these people have gone on to start their own businesses since leaving Sega. So I think these people are somewhat well-to-do for themselves, or decently well-to-do for themselves. So I don't think they're, I think they're work. It's a passion project. I don't think they're doing everything at cost. We've seen some pretty amazing indie games, come out from small groups, and relatively noobs in the industry.
How much do you think was for like writing the scripts and all that pre-production, like the clay models they use?
Well, then my other question is, how much of that has to be redone now? Like,
well, I mean, if you have a story planned out, not much.
Well, the script, I like those clay models, but there's probably better ways to do it now.
Yeah.
One thing I learned today in the update is I didn't realize that they did motion caption for that, or maybe I did, and I just forgot.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about that.
Well, that's one thing I've enjoyed is those updates, getting those little YouTube videos about different aspects and talking those, meeting the different members of the team and just talking about the history. I actually kind of hope that someone puts those together in a compilation disc and does something with that. Sells them for $5 or something. Maybe that should be the Kickstarter $5 reward. Is you get a compilation disc of the Kickstarter videos. That'd be kind of cool.
So they're putting out videos to Kickstarter?
Well, yeah, and going the updates, they interviewed the actor who played Rio in Japan.
Oh.
Yeah, check your updates. Shenmue Dojo probably has reposted it too. Yeah. So I guess I had one other note on this. If they were to, because apparently this has happened with like Mighty Number 9. I heard someone said that like they came back to Kickstarter to ask for more money to finish the game. So if that happened with Shenmue, would you support it again?
Yes, as long as it's not like a week later.
See, even what if it's like 2 years later? What if it gets to be mid 2017? 6 months away from when you're estimated that the game would be delivered. What would you think then?
Yeah, I would.
I see. I think we're a little bit different, and I think I maybe wouldn't.
Well, you're also giving a little bit more than I am.
Yeah, I would want to. I would have to. I'd be like, okay, did I get any of the rewards? Did I get any of those? If I didn't, I think it'd depend. What have I got? Did I get to do the surveys? Did I get some of the rewards? If I haven't seen anything at all, nothing to convince me, then I'd probably say no. But I'd be very hesitant to go back and do it again. So I don't know. I guess the good news in all this is we made the $2 million mark. Game's getting made. I guess we can't lose sight of that.
Yes.
I do agree with some people in that these stretch goals are really weird. Because like 20,000 doesn't get you, or 200,000, whatever they were, doesn't get you subtitles. I mean, how does that work? At 3 million, we can get you the report system, and at 3.2, skill tree or whatever. Those things don't have exact costs. Like I will admit that is one thing I do find a little weird.
Well, you have to pay somebody to translate and type out.
No, I get that, but I don't know. Like, cost quite as much as they. I don't think it breaks down on those even marks. I don't know.
Yeah, I just estimate from past experience.
I don't quite get how these stretch goals work. You know, the logic behind them, but
Yes, I think they definitely need to go into a little bit more what some of these are gonna do.
well, I just don't get how you can put a price tag on them like that. Is my only criticism. You know, how can you say, well, 4 million we can do this, and but at 4.17 million, well, what are you going to do then? Not do it? You know, I don't know. I'd like to think, and like I say, I have nothing to back this up. I'd like to think at this point that they'll do, you know, even if they don't reach a certain stretch goal, you know, if they get close, that they would maybe try to squeeze it in anyways. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's wishful thinking. But, yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming they now do some research. The time they estimate will take to make it, how many people they need on the project to get that in, and went from there.
Well, I can tell you one thing from working in the software business. Estimates are hard, 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 hard. And believe me, they don't break down nice like that. You know, I think it's just nice. I think it's just to give some to incentivize people. I don't know. I don't know. The stretch goals, I will admit, are just a little weird because I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with it. You know, clearly more money, better game. I get that. You know, and maybe more money means less influence from, you know, less money these other companies have to cough up. I don't know.
Right.
You know, and I do think they are really relying on the money, but I don't think Kickstarter is quite the only bucket of money there. But it very well could be the largest bucket.
Well, even on their FAQ, they say they have another source of income, but
Well, like I
they're
said,
not saying how much or who
well, like
that
I said,
is.
that Cedric Biscay has his own company. Even their lead director or creative director, Takari, whatever. You know, he has his own independent game studio, Nilo Inc. So, you know, I think some of these people do, like I said, they are somewhat, I wouldn't say well to do, but they're definitely okay to do as far as money goes. So, like I said, they are probably working on the cheap. But that may be really, this may just be the money to keep the lights on, you know, while they work.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a lot of the cost is just office space, food, electricity, and probably some R&D. Yeah, well, yeah.
Equipment and all that.
I mean, but yeah, you're right. Computers, but I think, well, I don't even know. I don't even know if computers, but it is probably paying. This is probably going mostly towards people's time more than anything. Like I said, I do stand behind. I think it is a bit of a passion project for these people. Just the fact that they've gotten as many people back together as they have, and doing these Kickstarter videos. That's just why I think that. Um, okay, I guess one last question. Do you think Sega is contributing any amount to this project?
Um, let's see, what did the FAQ say? They okay. All it says is Sega give them the rights. Okay, it's hard to say.
So I was thinking about that, and it wouldn't surprise me if Sega came out as a publisher towards the end of the project. Like, yep, we got it made, or you got it made. Now we'll publish it for you. If this gets made and if you get it done, we'll be a publisher for you or something.
The question is you think there's any bad blood between Yu Suzuki and Sega at all? Probably not much, but there could be like, oh, now once we get the game made, you're gonna step in. Thanks.
No, I don't think so. But I think the Sega that Yu Suzuki worked for and the Sega that it is now are two very different companies.
Yep.
So, um, no, I bet you they have some agreement. I bet you publishing has already been somewhat worked out, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sega is the publisher on this one. I mean, I think their logo is going to appear somewhere in the game for sure. So I don't know. I think yeah, I think they're treating it as an independent project, but they'll just publish later. I don't know.
I
But
suppose yes. It's like all it is now is a publishing house.
kind of.
Yeah.
Right. Um yeah, so let's move on to our next topic. Did you see the Corey Marshall interview?
Yeah. The
You
one
see
I linked to you.
oh yeah, maybe.
The
I find
recent one, right?
a lot of these links you send me I find on my own
Yeah.
before you send them to me. So well I saw on Facebook that he's interested in helping. I don't know what he can do. Like I said, him and Kickstarter, the group on Kickstarter, really need to talk because it would be cool if he would sign something like a Shenmue One game, some kind of merchandise or a strategy guide. I wouldn't want a signed picture of just him or anything, but
See, the problem with a signed game is you have to get the games, and you have to go. You have to either have them stored somewhere or buy them off of eBay or something like that.
yeah, I mean, I think there are plenty of hardcore fans. Yeah, so if you didn't have any of the games, one or two, this probably wouldn't be the option for you, and you'd probably skip it.
Oh, are you talking about maybe just you ship it to him and he'll sign it
Yeah,
and you ship it back? Okay,
yeah,
that could work.
something like that. Yeah, yeah, more or less. Um, and I think that could be like maybe a $400 tier. I think there's a little bit of a science to Kickstarter, and that you got to offer just the right tiers, to get people like, oh, because like me, it even kind of worked on me. I did 175, but I'm kind of thinking, well, 250, I can get a little bit more. Oh, but if I do three, and then if I just do $50 more and do the 300, I can get this too. I'm like, yeah, and I ended up going for 300. You know, can you incentivize people to make that jump to
Yeah,
the next thing?
I
And then
definitely
there's one
agree.
thing I think.
Well,
Huh?
go ahead. Go ahead and I'll say something.
Well, I think there's one little problem with their Kickstarter now is it's 500, then it's 3,000, and that's actually the highest you can go now because you can't get the jacket anymore, and you can't get dinner, so you can't pledge anymore. I'm not saying there's lots of people out there
You
wanting to
can
pledge 10,000, but it
you
would be
can
kind of
pledge.
cool. What?
You can pledge that amount, but you just won't get anything more for it.
Right, exactly. And I did have one idea that I thought would be kind of cool, and they could give away a few more of these. What if you had like a game character modeled after your likeness? Like you send in a picture or something, a couple pictures of what you look like, and we'll put it in as a background character. Maybe you talk to him and he says a couple lines, voiced by someone else probably, or I don't know, or you show up on a postcard or
Yeah,
something.
do like what movies do is either okay, you can be a background character or you can be a character with a speaking part. Um,
Yep.
and how they handle the cost of flight is you have to pay for your own flight, but you can be in it. Doable. So yeah, either
Or
for 5,000 you get character model after, and then 8,000 you get to voice a character that looks like you.
yeah, something like that. Well, and you gotta be careful. You don't want to hoard out too much like that. You know, you'd have. That's the other thing is I think you'd really have to limit that.
Made me whore out.
Well, you get a lot of people. You don't want to cheapen the game by having all these people because I actually wouldn't want anyone else to voice him because it's going to break the illusion if I go talk to the secondary character and he sounds like some English person trying to say Chinese really bad or Japanese. I wouldn't want if it doesn't fit into the game. But maybe you get a picture in the credits instead with your name, or you get a screen to yourself. I don't know, like you get some extra padding between your. I don't know. I'm
Oh,
just thinking.
executive producer or something like that.
Well, not executive producer, but your name maybe gets to be bold or a little bit bigger than everyone else, or it gets to be in a first category. Maybe the sixth, The $2,000 backers, the 1,000. I don't know.
I just know that how some movies do it is like exclusive producer. If you donate 10,000, was one more reward I was thinking of, but I can't think of it at the moment. I'll try to remember it while we talk.
Yeah. I guess my other thought is, oh, so Corey Marshall brought up some interesting stuff. Like, he's like he doesn't think they should change the game too much, and the look and feel. And I wasn't sure. Like, is he talking like graphics? Like, 'cause he's like, oh, I noticed they used a little bit different engine, but I don't think they should change it too much. Something like that. And I'm kind of thinking, well, it's going to have to change. Granted, I've said this before. I would be perfectly fine with them using the original game engine to run on PC and tweaking it as much as they reasonably could. But starting there, I don't know. But it is going to look different no matter what. And it's probably going to play different.
I thought the other perk they could offer is, you donate so much and you get a live chat with the creative team.
There you go. That'd be cool. Yeah. Exclusive Google Hangout or something.
Yeah. Like an hour chat or something. Or however they want to do it.
That'd be a good. Yeah, it's where do you position that in the tier? Because I'd say that'd be a good $1,000 one, but maybe it needs to be. I don't know. They need something between 500 and 3,000.
I would
maybe.
Huh? I would almost put it up towards the 10,000 mark. Not quite there, because that dinner is 10,000.
Yeah, I'd say maybe 5,000 or 7,000. Or I don't know. But anyways, so do you have any concerns about them keeping the look and feel of the original game? You think it needs to evolve? Do you think it needs to play differently than it does?
Well, I just know during that Red MAA, they asked about like mini games in there, not like the arcade games, and Yuzu said they're gonna be in there or something like that. Is that gonna fit into the world of Shenmue 3?
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I wonder too, because it takes place in a village.
Unless that's a very small part. You move on to a bigger city or something where they have that electricity and all that to support that.
See, that's the other thing I don't quite understand with the Kickstarter. In these different villages he wants to add in. It's like, are we going to get this story or not? I mean, what are these other villages? Are these extra chapters? I mean, how does that compromise the story that you want to tell? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then
add these new villages in. Well, how do these villages factor in? Is it like Shenmue 2 where you have like 3 or 4 different locations and they all tell a different chapter?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm curious if some of these stretch goals are some type of multiplayer feature, because he did mention that during the MAA that he wanted possibly a multiplayer or something that resembles that, like a co-op possibly. So I wonder if some of these are that.
I could maybe see a few ways how you would do that, but that'd be on the bottom of my list. I could see where you play as Ren or Shenhua, to do, because we'll think of like the one scene in Shenmue 2 where you're cuffed together with Ren.
Yeah.
I could kind of see being that like a kind of a co-op mini game, where you have to stick together and work together and do these QTEs, co-op QTEs to complete the scene. That would actually be kind of cool. Otherwise otherwise the computer will just do it. I don't know.
Right.
But maybe it's harder without the computer or with the computer than it is with another person. I don't know. Yeah, so that's one thing about this Kickstarter I just don't understand is how does the money directly affect the story, I guess. We're getting off topic. So I want to double back to the Corey Marshall thing just real quick. Do you feel like he's necessary to the game?
Um, the simple answer is no, but it would be nice to have him back to, like you said, for that consistency.
Like I'm in the same camp. It'd be nice to have him back. But honestly, when I played Shenmue 2 and I had to play the Japanese dub, didn't actually miss his voice that much. Like it was just fine. I was just fine reading subtitles. You
Yeah,
know.
I mean the voice is nice for convenience sake that you're not having to read everything. You can listen to it and follow. It's a little easier to follow something that is in your language than have to read everything that's going on.
Well, I agree. But I'm just saying when I played Shenmue 2, I got over that pretty quick. But I've also watched some anime where I've had to read it too, and I don't actually mind foreign films. The only thing so okay, let's go
I
ahead
mean,
and move on.
yeah, I don't mind foreign films either. It's just like it's a little bit harder to follow along. What's
Well, and I've seen bad English dubs too, though,
right?
where it just didn't fit. So let's talk about uh, so a couple more things on the list here. Shenmue HD. Do you think it will happen?
That's a hard question to answer because the
Yeah,
rights are with Sega.
I was listening to some podcast and they said, "Oh yeah, they'd be stupid not to." And
Right.
these were even by guys who weren't even Shenmue fans, which either means they don't really understand the situation or that's their honest. I don't know.
I mean,
I think
it
I could
seems
see.
like it seems like Sega has stopped doing any HD of their Dreamcast games a couple years ago.
You know, it's hard to get a gauge of what they're really doing at all. But they
Well,
don't seem to be.
go, what was their
They
last
don't.
one? Like
I,
2012, 2011?
yeah, it was like Jet Grind Radio and Sega Bass Fishing, something like that. Seaman, I don't know. Seaman,
That one?
I don't know. That one probably didn't get released. Space Channel 5, whatever. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. Mm, I think
Yeah,
I think Sega's still holding the. I mean, Sega I think still owns the license. They're just lending it, or they're allowing Yu Suzuki to use it. It's kind of he's got written permission to use it.
right.
At the end of the day, Sega's going to have it. I think
I mean, if they
so.
did, it would be. Probably, you probably wouldn't hear anything until closer to E3 2017 if
Yeah,
they did do anything with it.
I don't
And
think we'll hear.
they would be stupid not to. They would be stupid not to have some type of integration with 3.
Right. Yeah, and it's weird. They don't seem too interested in their old games, except if it was on the Genesis. I haven't really seen a lot of franchises revisited lately. They tried for a while there with the 360 and the Wii, coming out with the new Knights games, new Sonic games. Well, they still come out. They're always going to come out with Sonic, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess my last topic, um, Shenmue 4. What do you think? Because he's mentioned that he wants to make Shenmue 4, and I'm like,
At least.
I have mixed feelings about this because, hey, there's these Kickstarter stretch goals that say you get more cities. So does that mean if you don't get the funding for Shenmue 3, does that mean you're going to leave chapters out that necessitate a? I'd like to know how much of story this Shenmue 3 is going to cover. I'd like to know more, I guess. I really want to know more about what's going on. What is the plan here? How many chapters are we roughly thinking we're going to cover? I think part of me wants to say, yeah, let's have a couple more games. That'd be cool. But another part of me is like, no, for the love of God, just end it on 3 because it's going to. Because I hate to say it, but if 3 does not do well, that's game over. Shenmue is literally dead. It is dead, 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 dead. And here's why. The first two, yeah, they didn't sell well, but those were mitigating circumstances. The company that made it, the platform, were all kind of going out, and the game saw a couple iterations and some pretty much restarts, and it's been dead for 14 years. And now they're getting it back. They're doing the Kickstarter to try to get it made. And if they don't get the funding, or if it doesn't do well, then they're just going to be looking at, well, if anyone ever tried to fund that again, it's like, well, you tried once and it failed. It just didn't work. There's really no money in this. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be like we tried everything, and clearly there's just not any money in this. Yeah, there's a loyal fan base willing to put money in, but I don't know.
but how do you calculate as a success? Your funding does come from Kickstarter and they're getting the end product. No,
You gotta look at
or
copies of games sold through Kickstarter and then sold on the market. I suppose if you recoup your costs, and I don't know, maybe if Shenmue 3 does well enough, maybe he'd do another Kickstarter for Shenmue 4. It sucks that it'd have to go that way, but
right.
I don't know. I will admit, I'm definitely pro Kickstarter in this. Definitely pro Kickstarter, but I do think there are some questions out there. And if there's anyone who sees this, I encourage you, if you haven't donated, at least give just $5. At the bare minimum, just $5.
Right.
I don't know.
That's
what?
just well, I'm just gonna say it's just slightly higher than the cost of a cup of coffee. No, and you buy that every day. Some people buy that every day. So skip it once, do your buy some good, and support the game.
One thing I wish they would have done is for like that jacket. They should have sold that on eBay or something and started it at 10,000. Just to see if they could have got a little bit more out of that.
Yeah. Doing big and roll.
Or that jacket and that script could have really been two different Kickstarter items. Just a thought.
Yeah. So what else we have?
That's really all I had. Do you want a Shenmue 4?
I mean, I prefer they didn't rush it by any means and cram it in all into 3 if they didn't have to. I would definitely support if they need to kickstart that one too.
I would say this: I'm not a huge DLC fan. I'm not a huge fan of what DLC has become or how it's been perverse. But this is actually one time where I'd actually be happy, and I actually would like this kind of model where they released Shenmue 3. It's the big game. It's not, it's the graphics engine. It's all updated. It's got the new gameplay mechanics, and then kind of like almost like an online or online RPG. You kind of release these expansions that expand the game and tell more of the story. So it'd actually be kind of cool to buy chapters like this. For $10 to get the next chapter. I'd actually be okay with that. As long as the first base game was substantial. That's the only time I wouldn't support it, is if they chop out what they were planning in the base game just for expansion. But no, if you have a substantial, kind of like Half-Life 2, if they took that model and they did the episodes where each, the base game was pretty extensive, and then the episodes they were smaller, but still big enough to enjoy.
Yes, I'm definitely more supportive of story-based DLC than I am of map packs or pointless little items.
So, anyways, I don't really have anything else.
What do you think the first line from Rio is going to be in the game? I would give good money for it to be "I'm tired of waiting around. Let's go,"
No.
or something like that. To that effect. It's
What?
like, let's get move on.
What? Well, they're in the cave, remember?
Right.
They're pretty much in there. It's probably It's probably his first line. What the hell's happening? What's with the sword?
What the fuck, man? What's going on?
I need to play Shenmue 2 again. But if I remember right, Rio's becoming less about revenge now, right? And I thought I read that in an interview where the whole revenge motive is going to go away more.
It's definitely it's becoming bigger than him getting revenge. No, it's
Yeah.
like we need to stop Landy before he unleashes this hell on Earth.
And what I've seen from like the Shenmue Online trailer when that was out, look, I mean, I'd like to think that's a window into what Shenmue 3 was going to be. And it looks like some pretty serious stuff happens. There's a confrontation with Landy on the roof, and he has Joy. And then it looks like a dragon actually comes down from the sky. Or a
Yeah,
phoenix.
that takes place back in Hong Kong, though.
What?
I want to say that game was supposed to take place during. Okay, maybe not two, but kind of like because you're in Hong Kong and Joy's there, and all the characters from 2 are there. But yeah, there is no point where Rio faces down Landy like that. But that could just be for the cinematic trailer.
I think, hard to know. I guess I need to start reading again on Shenmue. There's a point where I did all, I even read all these theories about, Shenmue and Shenmue 2 and what it all meant. I need to look into those again. It's been a long time. And I need to beat Shenmue 2. But again.
Well, Shenmue's name is Dream. If you forgot.
What?
Shenmue's the name of the tree, if you forgot.
No, I knew that. I remember the high points. I would like to go back and watch some of those flashbacks again.
Yeah.
And it actually, one thing I will admit, when I first played those games, I actually didn't spend that much time exploring. Like, I was very much about the main quest. Like, I just want to get through the story because, I want to know what happens. Where is this going? What is this mirror? Because it doesn't look like a mirror. So if someone wants to explain that to me, because I don't quite get it why they're called mirrors.
Yeah.
Dummy me, I guess. But
one of the things I'm doing during this playthrough I'm current playing is I'm going to fortune teller a lot more, just because see if there's anything unique that happens. No, I'm just curious. See if there's anything I miss.
right. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta beat Shenmue 2 on my 360. I beat it on the Dreamcast. It's such a long game. It's a longer game, which is not a complaint. And so much more happens in it. Like, yeah, I don't know. The cool thing about Shenmue 1 is it's short and sweet. Well, it's not short, but it's condensed. And Shenmue 2 is far more expansive, so there's like all these things that happen I don't really remember, or I've somewhat forgotten. Well, I can do you one better there, kid.
Dreamcast version.
Huh?
Dreamcast version. Do you have your Japanese version up there with you?
Or what?
Your Japanese version?
What Japanese version?
Of the first show?
No.
Or is that here?
That might be at home. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I have it. That's sort of useless.
Yeah.
See, my Shenmue 1 is like falling apart.
Yeah. My first is...
It would be surprised if it no longer work.
Like I said, my first disc for my Shenmue doesn't work that well. I had to burn a copy to get outside the house.
This is why Sega needs to do an HD. Well, I don't even care if it's HD. This is why I just need a digital version.
Port.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's that or null DC, which is all right because I can use my Xbox One controller. It's just not as nice. You can go check my room at home. It might be there on that TV stand.
I'll do that
Don't
when
go
we
looking.
hang up here. I definitely wouldn't mind getting our copy of Shenmue. Just
Yeah, well,
have a
apparently
working
they're.
copy of the first piece.
I would too, but apparently they're uber expensive now.
You can get a brand new copy for like $110. I saw on eBay.
You know, that's actually not such a crazy idea. For a new copy.
You can get the Japanese version pretty cheap, I see.
Yeah.
I also kind of wouldn't mind getting the US Shenmue, the Japanese, with the English voices and
Oh, the dub? Like the hack?
yeah. No,
Yeah.
the official, the one they released in Japan that has the US voices and journal entries.
Yeah, I've thought about that too. Hey, do you have all the VMUs at home?
I have like 4 of them. I know
You might
2
have
of them
mine
at least are mine.
because I can't find any VMUs. So that's my other roadblock to playing.
A blue one
Yeah.
that would
I think
kind of match just my controller.
you have a blue one?
I thought you had that blue one. That's yours.
Anyways, I know I had a green one.
I mean, don't we have one that's kind of like that? I thought you had that one.
What's that? Anyways.
Little chit-chatting here. Yeah, for $80, I could get the European copy of Shenmue 2. Which is
For $80?
Which is, I guess,
that?
not too bad on eBay.
It's actually not too bad. But hey, we probably shouldn't just chit chat here. Just in case anyone's watching.
Nobody's watching at the moment.
No, but if anyone comes to watch this later, you want to wrap this up? Any parting thoughts? I mean, I guess we could stay online, but
I guess I don't have anything.
yeah. And I think you should put this video under as video podcast. You know, as the part of the title. Or I guess you already named it, didn't you?
Yeah, but I can choose that.
Just because I feel like that's more of what it is, and that's actually a thing on YouTube. Is video podcasts. I mean, I've listened to those where people just talk. You don't even really need to see the video. And if there is a video, it's just them playing games.
All right. So we're $10,000 away from $3.6 million. Actually, a little less than 10,000.
Yeah. So I'd like to think we can get to 4 million by the end of June, but it'll probably be like 3.9.
Yeah. It's a week away. I mean,
I guess we'll almost be halfway through the Kickstarter by then.
yeah. Yeah, you can definitely just think about how much it's slowing down, because we got the first 2 million within 9 hours, and it's been a week later, and we're only raised 1.5 million more.
Yeah, but a lot of that was excitement.
Your
It would
initial.
be nice to get to 4 million. You know, let's say that we legitimately got 2 million extra past our initial goal.
Yeah, 200% funded.
Yep. I don't know. I can't complain. I think we could get to 4 million by the end of the month. I mean, here's the thing. Look at how much we've raised. Almost 3.6 million in 24 or in 7 days. It's pretty spectacular. I mean, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder like where all these people are coming from that are still contributing. Like, it's like I just kind of wonder, are there like non-fans contributing to this game at all? And then
Are
I kind of
people just
wonder, I mean, what?
are people just upping what they pledge already?
Well, the pledge numbers go up though. The number of pledgers.
Do you think anybody's like creating a second account and pledging more that way, so they just get more swag? And then, because I did see one
That too,
comment.
because like, you know, what if I just wanted to pledge 175 twice and get two of everything? You know, or you know,
Right,
what if I
that's
wanted
what
a
I'm saying.
second copy of the game? Can I pick more than one? You know, I don't know.
I did see one comment saying on like it's for like, oh, I pledged $500 and I'm gonna create another account so I can pledge another 500. And I'm assuming they're just doing that so you get more swag because there isn't a $1,000 tier.
That's what I'm wondering. If I pledge, let's say 560, can I get the two swag packages? Can I get the game and you know the $500 one?
I don't think it works that way.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I suppose.
I definitely think Usenet, or how you say it, needs to come out and do some damage control over people calling this a scam.
Yeah. Yeah, them, and I think Sony's tried to do a little bit. Although I kind of wonder, like, is any of this leaving a bad taste in Sony's mouth? Like, oh, why are we doing this again? But, yeah, I gotta get something to drink quick. I'll be right
Right.
back.
Well, up there in it. So currently on my other channel, I'm doing a let's play of the first game. Check it out. It's called my channel is called thecounterbrute.com, or not .com. Just the counterbrute. YouTube it, or just to search for Shenmue replay, and you should find it. I don't know what else to say at the moment.
What?
Oh, I'm just talking by myself here.
Yeah.
I was talking about my how I'm replaying through the first Shenmue and uploading to YouTube.
Yeah, I don't have a emulators this side. I don't really have a good way to play it.
Yeah. You watched that video at all? That first playthrough? Or first part I sent
No,
you? Not.
I'll look at it later. I've been playing Fallout New Vegas, so I should be playing Shenmue too.
Yeah. I was playing Silent Hill before this announcement happened. Now that's taking back burn.
Yeah. Well, you know, I look at it this way. I don't really need a rush to play the Shenmue games again because I got 2.5 years to do it. So that's one thing I don't think people quite realize. That this really is 2.5 years before the game is going to come out, probably.
Yeah.
And, you know,
That's
and someone else
the
brought
release.
the what?
at the earliest.
And then someone's pointed out, you know, that there's a good chance this game's going to get delayed. I'm like, yeah, you're maybe right. But, you know, it's interesting. You know, they got all these Kickstarter promo videos that they've already made because I watched the one this morning and it showed that it does the Shenmue loading screen, you know, kind of before each little segment in the video. And it says May 25th. So, you know, a month ago, they had already made, which I guess makes sense to have these pre-canned Kickstarter videos. But,
Yeah.
you know, well, I think was it the Reddit? He said that the footage that you saw at E3 is actually that is Shenmue 3. So this is the other part I don't get. It's like you've already started on. I don't know. There's a few things I just don't quite understand. Like you, so clearly you've started a, but this is probably just a prototype. You know, this is
Just
probably
some.
just them messing around in their free time. You know, but it sounds like sounds like they've already started on the game engine a bit in Unreal.
Right. Well, you did confirm that Rio is going to change how he looks.
Well, that's interesting. It's like because a bunch of people said, "Is that what Real's really going to look like?" He's like, "No, I'm not happy with the face either." It's like, are you just saying that now? It's like, oh, gee, guys, that was my final plan there. We lose you, Cameron? Yeah, I think we lost Cameron. Awesome. He'll be back in a minute, guys. He has a really shitty internet connection. Or not. Well, I thought he's going to come back. Hey, what happened? Are you out of internet or? All right. Well, are we done then? It's up to you. Can you get back in? What? Okay. Because I'm still live. It says I'm still live. You there?
I still see you, and it says we're still broadcasting, but I
Oh,
can't see you. I just see your avatar.
that's fine. I can see you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Anyways, I don't even remember where we left off.
Um. Yeah, I don't know either.
I am trying to sign into my Twitter so I can follow the Shenmue 3 Twitter.
Probably should do that too, huh?
Yeah. Although Facebook is pretty good for getting all my Twitter or all my Shenmue updates. Yeah.
I'll do that after we're done here, so I don't clog the internet up again, or lose connection again.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, want to wrap it up?
Sure.
We're probably gonna play some games,
Well,
possibly. Wouldn't
my
mind
VG,
talking about.
my
You get
go
your
ahead.
VGA game?
I got my VGA kill for my Dreamcast.
Does it work?
Yeah, you literally had to like shove that thing in the back of the Dreamcast and make a connection, but the HDMI thing I bought apparently it doesn't upscale. It just pumps it out through HDMI, and apparently my capture device can't capture that low resolution through HDMI. So I have to return and get an upscaler.
Yeah, Adam Korlick has a video about that.
Yeah. Me, I can record no resolutions as low as 240i, but I guess it's not doing it through an HDMI source is the issue.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you play? But the VGA cable works, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so you can see it on your screen.
Does yours have like anti-aliasing really bad?
Probably. I haven't tried it in a while.
Because that opening sequence, that prologue with Shaha, like the background kind of looks like it's swimming a bit because it.
I've always noticed it anti-alias.
Wasn't sure that was just the cable itself doing that, or
You should try hooking your Dreamcast up to one of our old TVs and just seeing what that cutscene looks like.
we have to be a computer monitor.
No,
I'll do it to my because we don't have a
use
TV that has a VGA input.
just use your composite
Unless
cable
you're talking about that. Okay.
and just play it on an old TV and see. Because it could be just because you're playing it on a bigger than intended monitor.
Yeah. Or I wasn't sure if it was just because it was 480p. And there's.
Well, I think part of it you're trying to play on a 42-inch TV. Cameron?
Lost connection again.
Yeah, we need to just wrap this up. All right? Later.
Yep. I think we'll do this again soon, right?
Yeah, I'd like
Maybe.
to talk about the other games, like at E3.
Yeah.
But maybe.
Just have a more general gaming discussion.
All right.
Color. Yeah. I love this season. It's so beautiful.